Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Fiesel, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show, where truth matters. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, from 1 to 3 p.m. Central, as I get to ride home with you in the afternoon. It's always a fun ride. You know, you can find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications Abundant Television. We just found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget the podcast, thenewscasters.com. And AP, I'm working on something else. I can't tell you about it right yet, okay? But it's going to be another television station. So everybody hang in there with us. We appreciate you doing that. It's going to open up even a broader area in Alabama. So we're going to be heading a little bit more into the southern part of Alabama. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. And by the way, if you have ideas for shows, please let me have those ideas. I love research. I'm the geek who hung out at the library in high school. So anyway, let me be the geek person that I am. Send ideas and I'll do some research for you. Send an email to donna@donnasedge.com. Donna@donnasedge.com. I have a very special friend with me right now, AP Steadham. He's our sports guy. Nobody does it better than you do, AP. I mean, it's just the way it goes. And the interviews you get is absolutely awesome. So let's talk for a couple of minutes, and then I want to get into this interview.
Hey, thank you, Donna, for those generous and kind words. Yes, we had a chance to be a part of the 24th annual Jimmy Rain charity golf tournament and banquet. So the prime people we had in the interviews that are upcoming is Jimmy Rain, the founder of the foundation, and his featured guest speaker was none other than Nick Saban. People know that name, not only in Alabama, but across the country and the globe. So yeah, it was great. And he brings in all these other personalities as well, and it's a fun time down. It was in Montgomery, Alabama last Thursday evening, and then Friday was the golf. The golf was canceled, but it still got a lot of people together.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and get started with the video. It's a little lengthy, but absolutely right on spot. Then we'll come back in and go into a break. Then I want you to come in about the video. So we'll be right back in a few minutes.
Thank you all for being here. We appreciate your interest in the foundation. It's a big night for a lot of the families. We've got 60 scholarships being awarded. 30-something, I think, were able to be here. And it's the biggest event we've ever had. There's over 1,000 people here tonight. And we've raised over $2 million in one night. And I'm staggered at that amount of interest. And I'm sure it has a lot to do with Nick being here. But I do think that a lot of people believe in what we're doing and helping these kids. I think it's important for people to understand this foundation is different than a lot of foundations. We don't have one single employee. We don't have one building. We don't have one automobile. All of the expenses for this foundation are paid just for tonight. Only what it costs to put this event on. The rest of the money goes to the children. So you can say 98% of what you're giving goes to the children. And I think that's a good thing. And I'm honored to have my friend Nick Saban here. He's been a friend of mine since he came to Alabama in 2007. And we have enjoyed a very cordial, good relationship. I admire him greatly. If he's not the greatest football coach, he's one of the greatest. And what he's accomplished, I doubt we will ever see replicated. So, Nick, thank you for coming.
Well, I'm glad to be here. I think this is a great cause. I think Jimmy's foundation has sent over 700 kids, if I'm not mistaken, with scholarships to have an opportunity. And the whole idea that we help someone else, we help other people. Jimmy's always supported our foundation, Nick's kids, because that's the same thing we try to do. We try to create opportunities to, help other people. And obviously with what he's been able to do here, the operation and as well as the foundation that he has been instrumental in a lot of people changing their lives. And I think that's something that we all should be committed to. And he and I have had a great relationship because he's all about people. I'm all about people. It's not all just about Auburn, and it's not just about Alabama. It's just about helping people. And I think that's why we're both here tonight.
Jimmy, AP Steadham of AP and Kelly, as we see it syndicated radio. I think the people would like to hear from you who is eligible for the scholarships from the horse's mouth.
The kids in the middle. It's not the very, very poor kids, because every foundation in the federal government through Pell Grants supports the very, very poor. And it's not the rich kids, they don't need any help. But the children from families who have lost a parent, or have a parent that's critically ill, or they have more siblings than they can support, those are the ones we try to identify. If you go to any college campus, and go in a restaurant, you will find students working, or in department stores, or in grocery stores. They're working to try to stay in college. And we want to try to help the kids in the middle, the people that kind of get forgotten.
Coach, as you embark on this new media venture, is there something that you'd like to express to the audience that may be different than you've seen in the past?
Not really. I just hope that there's something that I can do that makes it more interesting, educational, whatever it might be, that, fans, creates fan interest. Look, college athletics in general, create a lot of opportunities for a lot of people, create a lot of values that they learn that help them be more successful in life. Jimmy and I were talking in the back room before we came in here. Our parents and our coaches, both of us, had the greatest impact and influence on our lives, and us having a chance to be successful and creating now opportunities for others. So to be able to continue to do that and have a voice in doing that, even though it's not going to be from the sidelines, probably is something that I'm really kind of looking forward to.
One more, if I may. Coach, when you were growing up, are there any broadcasters or members of the media that you admired and maybe you enjoyed watching and listening to through the years?
Well, where I grew up, there was only one. His name was John Veazey. And he was the sports editor of the Fairmont Times. It's the only paper I ever saw. It's the only sports person I ever knew about. He did the columns. He did everything. So, he wins by default.
Nick, there's been a lot of suggestions about NIL fixes, of what college football needs to see over the next few years. Bill even suggested getting players contracted on a contract, so if they break it, obviously there are stipulations there. What are some of the ones that you tend to kind of lean toward right now? Do you agree with maybe players need to be on
Well, this is really all about the kids here tonight that are going to get awarded scholarships. But look, the number one thing we need to do in college football is the first thing you got to do is address all the lawsuits, because the lawsuits may break the NCAA and it may break college football. All right, so that should be the first order of business. And the second thing is to try to create a system that continues to allow all people who have had the opportunity to participate in college athletics, that's male and female, Title IX. And look, I'm all for the players sharing in the wealth of what's happening in college football. But it has to be a system that's going to keep everybody having an opportunity, revenue sports as well as non-revenue sports, and hopefully something that financially the universities can continue to be able to operate, because it works financially for the system.
Good evening, gentlemen. Todd Stacy with Alabama Public Television. We are in a political season. Very soon we'll be in a football season with all the contentiousness that comes with both. Are nights like tonight and events and charities like this maybe a reminder to people about what's most important?
I would hope so.
This is my second charity event of the day. So I did one in Nashville and I came here today. So it's certainly important to me. And both are trying to help young people have a better opportunity to be more successful in life. So we're trying to create those opportunities for those who may not have the opportunity. And I think the more people that do that, the better our country's going to be, better our state's going to be, better our society's going to be. So I think it's something that everybody should focus on.
Coach, I just got done talking with Coach Freeze about just kind of the importance of taking this downtime to spend time with his family and his daughters. Now you've been a couple months removed now. Kind of, if you had advice for a coach like himself, or a young assistant coach, in terms of prioritizing that and finding a way to do that in a really intense calendar, what kind of advice would you have for prioritizing those things?
Well, I need to ask you a question. Did he tell you how much money he lost when we played golf in Florida?
Nope, I'd like to know.
He didn't tell? He didn't tell you that? No, I think that regardless of the circumstances in college athletics right now, every coach has to be able to adapt. I mean, one of the things that we're able to do through the years was, we even won when we had name, image, and likeness. But we had to adapt. We could not do things the same that we always did. And I would say that every coach should be looking forward, not backward, in terms of, well, we've always done it this way. Well, you can't do it that way anymore. So being adaptable to the circumstance that you're in, so that you can have a chance to functionally be successful with the competition who may be adapting, is probably the most important thing.
Jimmy, you've done a great job in the 20-plus years. This is the 24th annual charity golf tournament event. Looking forward, what are some of the plans you have that you went from 1 to 60?
Well, as Coach said, we now have put 700 kids into college. I said when we gave that first one away that first night in 2001, I hope I can be around when we give out the 1,000 scholarship. I never had any idea that I would be around for that, but now it seems like that's a realistic goal, and so hopefully I might be around for the 2,000 scholarship. But it is something that I think resonates with people. Obviously, for some of you that have been here before, when you see that Dios tonight, there are coaches and players that have never missed. Johnny Majors never missed one of these events from the time it started till he passed away. Too Tall Jones, Bobby Crimmins, they're on and on, Rob Spivey. And so I think that resonates with everybody, that this is something worthwhile. As Coach said, we're trying to help young people have a chance that will never get a chance. How can you not be for that?
One last question. Jimmy, I just wanted to ask you, kind of, as Coach Freeze enters year 2, and have you seen, I guess, the current state of the program, and how satisfied are you with what you see?
Well, as Coach Saban said, we're here tonight to talk about the kids and this program, but I really like Hugh. I think he's a good guy, a good person, and a good coach, and I think it's obvious to anybody that follows football that his teams were better than the ones that were there before him, and I don't have any reason to think that he will not continue to work hard and improve. I'm very happy with him.
Coach Davis Baker here with WSFA in Montgomery. You've been around plenty of 18-year-old freshmen before. What advice would you give to these kids that are going to get these scholarships to be successful as they reach campus?
Well, I think number one is they've got to take advantage of the opportunity. And I think being accountable and accountability to do the things that you need to do to be successful and have the discipline to make the choices and decisions that are going to help you be successful. You know, there's a lot of distractions that you can have as a college student, and you got to stay focused enough to be able to keep the main thing, and make sure that you do graduate so you can take advantage of the opportunity.
Thank you both. Thanks, guys.
Okay, so we are back in. Let's go into a commercial break, and we'll be right back in just a few minutes.
Queen City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. At Liberty Bank, we're all about community, whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need. Toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender. Jeff McCurdy of the McCurdy Law Firm has been a public service of this area for over 10 years. McCurdy, a member of the Henniger City Council, serves as prosecutor for the town of Sylvania and was named public defender for the city of Rainsville. The McCurdy Law Firm is located at 17326 Alabama Highway 75 in Henniger to better represent his Jackson and DeKalb County clients. If you need to be represented by a true public servant with proven success, call Jeff at 256-996-8701 or send a private email to mccurdylawfirm@gmail.com. No representation is made that the legal services performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers.
Okay, we're back. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show. Thank you so much for watching. Every day beginning at 1 p.m. We definitely appreciate that. AP, let's go ahead and get started. I don't want to waste any time. So this is a wonderful interview right here. Let's talk a little bit more about it. And I know football, we're all excited.
Oh, yes. Thank you very much, Donna. Yeah, Nick Saban, he was more relaxed, Donna. I think people will observe his mood and his playfulness with the media now that he's not coaching anymore and he has his own time. He said he's not rushing around the countryside to be in a meeting or recruiting or any other football-related business. So he's having fun, and he's been in the business about 50 years, so that's plenty of time to make your mark, which he did. And I wanted to ask him about his pursuit of the television career. So I hope people had a chance to listen to him. And I think he's going to probably provide some great insight to coaching and the games and how to manage players and people. And it should be a lot of fun this first season when he's discussing college football.
Yeah, I think so too. But it was a different Nick Saban, that's for sure.
Yeah, you can
He's
tell.
always
You can
been
tell.
just a little bit like that at media people. So he just seemed a lot. And I can't blame him. I mean, because everybody's out to get that story. And
Yeah.
so anyway, I don't blame him. But yeah, this is a different side. I never saw that side before.
Yes, yeah, he a little bit on edge when he was coaching, but now he's open to all types of questions and replies, and you'll see him smile much more. So that's a difference that I've seen, and I even saw some differences last season that he was smiling more at the podium before the games, even after the game. So there's a big difference. But I just want to make mention of the event itself, Donna. They've provided over $7 million to these students from across the country. And if you look at the list of the 60 students this year, they're from various states, and they're attending schools from Yale University to junior colleges, Donna. Mm-hmm. So it's a great program that Jimmy Rain started 20-something years ago. This is the 24th annual event, but it's tremendous for all these students to have an opportunity to attend college and pursue their dreams. So I'd love to be at the event. And then they have, I can't remember the exact number. It's got to be over 50 former coaches and players. And we got a chance to see, for instance, I had a chance to talk briefly with Hugh Freeze, the Auburn coach. And I know he's excited about the new young wide receivers. They're going to probably improve his offense and also support the quarterback, because all quarterbacks, Donna, they can throw the ball, but they can't catch it.
That's true. So let's talk about football. We're all excited about that. So as you're seeing things right now, and I know a million things can change the dynamics of a prediction. Absolutely. Yeah. So where do you see it right now? AP and Kelly, as we see it,
Yeah, Don, I would say right now, we'll look at nationally. I just have two teams right now that stand out above everybody, I think, because of their rosters at the moment. Ohio State, they've got quite a few transfers from the Southeast. The outstanding running back from Ole Miss, All-SEC Quinshon Judkins from Pike Road, just near Montgomery. And then they had Caleb Downs from Georgia. He's the All-American sensational freshman defensive back that transferred from Alabama, and a few other players. And they got a wide receiver from South Florida, top receiver in the country. So Ohio State is building that roster. Georgia always has a good roster. Ohio State does too, but they're filling it in with some transfers because of this NIL business and the transfer portal. So I think Georgia and Ohio State, whether they have one or two or just reverse that order, I think those two teams stand out right now. It's a long season, and you have to play in the championship game of your conference, and you have to be in the 12-game playoff. I think some teams to consider in that top five, Donna, I have to look strongly at Texas. They returned their quarterback, Quinn Ewers. I'm trying to think of another strong. I think Alabama, you've got to consider them because they have the quarterback returning, a coach that knows how to win, Kalen DeBoer, the brand new coach. I think Clemson has a couple of question marks, Donna. Can Dabo Swinney revive that program to be in contention for a national championship? With the 12 teams now, you don't have to win every game, and I don't think there's as much pressure now, Donna. You can probably lose a couple games. I would say close. Lose them close, though. Don't have any blowouts, Donna. But with that 12 teams, and you're going to have a chance to have more than one team from your conference. There's no limits on that, Donna. I think one of the interesting things we talked about the show, AP and Kelly, as we see it, that's heard every football Friday right here on IC Radio, 4 p.m. Central. We discussed the fact that, Donna, with the playoffs, you're looking forward to having a home game, but the top teams, they have a bye, so they won't have a home game. It'll be one of the 6 bowls that will be part of the next round, that quarterfinal round. The Peach Bowl, the Orange Bowl, Cotton Bowl, Sugar Bowl, Fiesta Bowl, and we're leaving one out here. We said the Orange Bowl, I guess, but the 6 bowls from around the country. Those bowls will alternate, being the quarterfinal, the 4 games for the quarterfinals, and then the semifinals. And then the last game, Donna, is the national championship. This year it's in Atlanta, so the Peach Bowl really hosts twice because they're going to host one of the quarterfinals or semifinal game. I think it's a quarterfinal game this year, and then the national championship. So that's interesting for the people in Atlanta to double host. But I would say those are the teams: Georgia, Ohio State, Texas, Alabama. Let's see what Clemson can do. Can Florida State? They're looking for a new quarterback, which they had the transfer, who was the quarterback at Clemson down a few years ago, DJ. And I won't attempt to say his name, but he's from California. Played at Oregon State last year. Now he transferred to Florida State. So that's going to be a huge game on both teams' schedule, Florida State and Clemson. Looking at some other teams, Michigan has a new coach, but they have some talent. Of course, Penn State, they're very good, but they have not defeated Ohio State and Michigan consistently. So maybe this is the breakthrough year for them. Other teams in the SEC, LSU, they'll be looking for a new quarterback to replace the Heisman Trophy winner, Jaden Daniels. But you have Nussmeier, who's been there with the program a while. He's a coach's son. He had a good spring, good bowl game. He participated in the bowl, and they won that game. So those are some of the stronger teams, I think, across the country. Like I say, I don't feel strongly about anybody but Georgia and Ohio State at this point to win a championship. That's not saying it couldn't happen because we have the injuries. Football is a game of attrition. You have to survive week to week. And now, Donna, with the 12-game playoff, you have to win. Maybe you have to win your championship game of your league. Maybe you have to go through the quarterfinals, the semifinals, and the finals. Those are all extra games, Donna. That puts a burden on your roster. So the coaches, they have to manage that roster, manage those injuries, and as always, you have to have good play from the quarterback, Donna, and you have to have some defense that could stop the other team a few times more than they stop you to give yourself a chance to put points on the board.
Absolutely. Daryl has a question for you right here, and this is about grudge matches. Now, we know Alabama and Auburn is always going to be grudge, even if one of us is losing every single team, every single game. But let's talk a little bit about grudge matches. In your opinion, who of all across the country, which two teams are going to have the biggest grudge match, do you think? Because, I'm thinking Georgia, Georgia still got a bone to pick.
Right. Georgia and Alabama play this year down in Tuscaloosa in September. That game is. But I say this year, I'm thinking that the new Michigan coach, he's going to try to keep that streak going against Ohio State. Ohio State has been defeated by Michigan the last few years, and the Ohio State team with the roster they've been building and spending all that money in the NIL, they're not looking but anything to win that game against Michigan this year because they've been on the wrong side of that score. I think Alabama at the moment is a better team than Auburn, and the game will be played in Tuscaloosa. So I think Alabama right now has the better manpower at this moment. But Georgia and Alabama, that is a serious football game in the Southeastern Conference. The new coach from Alabama, he's hosting Georgia, and Kirby Smart, the highest paid coach in college football with the new contract. So that's going to be a matchup that those Georgia fans, because they have not, they won a couple of championships with Kirby Smart, but he was only able to defeat Nick Saban that one time when they lost the receiver, and then they won that championship in the title game. So I think that Georgia-Alabama game is one of the bigger ones. Ohio State-Michigan this year. Trying to think of one. I think the Florida State-Clemson game will be interesting because the Florida State quarterback once was the quarterback of Clemson. So that'll be quite interesting.
I think it is too. Hey, people are going to have to go. Man, 30 minutes flies by. Thank you so much for being with us again. And folks, keep sending those emails. I got quite a few we didn't answer today, but we'll do it next week. So keep sending. Send to Donna at donnasedge.com. Thank you, AP, for being on the show with us. Football Friday at 4 right here, icradio.media.
Thank you, Donna. Thank you so much.
Are you ready?
We all wonder what tomorrow will bring, but the future lays itself at the feet of the prepared and surrenders to the will of the persistent. It's not easy, but today shapes you so you can shape tomorrow. With Northeast Alabama Community College, when the future asks if you're ready, you can answer
yes.
Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community College.
Absolutely.